Recently I was at a party. I was chatting to an ex-girlfriend of mine. Well, we haven't been together for many years. We speak, but we haven't spoken for some time. She happened to be there with her husband, and we were chatting, and I was telling her about the decisions I've made about my life and where I was now and where I was then, where I thought I was then anyway. And at the time when I was with her, only in terms of I've been reflecting. I do quite a bit of reflection on my life. I don't live in the past. It's aimed at continual growth, for me to evolve. I don't want to make decisions that I've made in the past. And I said I'd left the business, and she said, well, it was never any good for you anyway. I said, but at the time, I said I wasn't prepared to let it go. I wasn't prepared to be beaten, and I couldn't see what I would do without the business. I don't think I trusted the fact that any of my partners would remain with me, actually, if I wasn't that guy that potentially could earn all this money and provide a lifestyle for them. I think that's probably, that's down to my self-confidence. I never discussed it with them. I was too busy fighting, but I never, the only time we discussed anything was why wouldn't I spend time with them? Unless they were in the pub with me, then I didn't spend any time. So we never actually discussed anything about, call it a relationship, which in essence might have done something to actually save them. Now, I do believe that each of them in their own way had issues, which we all do, which is normal. But you can work through certain issues. You can help each other with self-confidence and self-esteem if you're prepared to do it. But by not ever entering into that conversation with each other, then it's highly likely the relationship will just disintegrate, if it ever is a relationship, but disintegrate into nothing. And you lose it, or we lose it. And after it's gone, it is devastating, because consciously we want this relationship. But subconsciously, like I say, I made a comment when I lost my grandfather, nothing would ever do that to me again. Nothing would hurt me like that again. So to open yourself up to the vulnerability of being hurt, making statements like that it's nigh on impossible. We've conditioned ourselves to feel that way. And there's very little we can do about it unless we are prepared to not just consciously but actively change our state of being and overcome the issues that we have. To begin by trusting people, trusting ourselves, makes massive inroads into it. Because what we have to understand is people aren't out to hurt us. We end up hurting ourselves, and a lot of the time there's no need. I think relationships will come to a natural end if you're not meant to be together. I also think that if they wanted to be with me because of a lifestyle I could provide for them, then it's not a relationship I would have wanted anyway. And over time, I would have worked that out. But what tended to happen was, I think they ended before they'd ever really got going. They'd never had that opportunity to flourish.